I started Plexus almost 5 years ago. I can't believe it's been almost 5 years. Valentine's Day of 2015 is when I clicked join, and it wasn't without strife and hardship because my sweet sponsor, Carrie Netherton, we finally realized after multiple attempts to sign up that I still had my maiden name under, like, my social security was still attached to my maiden name, which is why. So she had to like three-way call me in. It was ridiculous. But anyways, I did finally get started, and I was starting just for products only. Honestly, I had so many people reaching out to me about Plexus. And over the course of 18 months, I remember seeing an email from Shoshana Easling come out through Bulk Herb Store. And so like I had heard about Plexus multiple times. And like after I started and after I caught a vision for Plexus, I was like shooting myself in the foot. I'm like, why did I wait so long? I could be diamond by now. Like, how ridiculous. But I knew that I had to stop myself from looking backwards and saying, you know what, God knew that I needed that 18-month journey to be able to help more people, because in that period of time, I learned more about health. I learned about my own health. I had worked with a naturopath for almost 2 years, completely overhauled my diet, which was not bad to begin with, but I was super sick from mold toxicity. This old farmhouse that we live in actually, so currently we completely like gutted the whole thing before we moved in. And then about 7 years ago, there was some major water issues and some issues underneath the house that caused this huge mold issue. And I got super sick from it. Some of the kids got sick. Justin was working so much away from home that I don't feel like he was really exposed as much as us, but he did have some weird like irregular heart rhythms and just some wonky thing, horrible brain fog. But anyways, all that to say, we had some health issues when we started, and I only started 4 products really. Although I will say that I was kind of intrigued with the business part. I'm a little bit entrepreneurial. As a kid, my sisters and I had so many businesses growing up. Like my parents were, really helped us think outside the box and, promoted us having our own businesses and stuff. So I had a lot of belief in the products and also the business because of people like Shoshana and people that I had seen and followed for at least a decade in health and wellness circles. I have a super old herb video with Kristen Abart and Shoshana talking about herbs. And so I was like, oh my word, these people, they're in Plexus. So I knew that what they were sharing about was legit. And it obviously would not have successful businesses. The business model wasn't excellent and the products didn't work for people, right? So I had those like huge things in the back of my mind saying like thumbs up, but I lacked belief in myself. And I really thought like kind of the imposter syndrome, like, who am I? Like, of course, like I saw these other people joining, and I'm like, of course, they're going to be diamond. They have a herb store in Indianapolis. Of course, like think about the influence there. Shoshana, of course she's going to be diamond. She knows all these people because of her current business and things like that. And so it took a little bit of time. So first I had to have belief in the products before I started to share. If any of you are familiar with the 4 color personalities of MLM, I was kind of a chameleon. So at first I was very green. So that meant I was a researcher. And I knew that before I put my name on something, like I had to make sure it was legit, make sure I understood the products because I knew my network. I was going to have crunchy moms asking me why BioCleanse was a better form of magnesium than Natural Calm, and why ProBio 5 was only $24.95 and had 2 billion CFU count, when I was taking a lot of these moms are taking a $100 probiotic that has 250 CFU counts and things like that. So I knew I was going to get those questions asked to me. So I had to like know in my gut the answers to those things and know why and how and like all those green crazy questions. So that I had to know before I started sharing, which you don't have to know those things. I mean, now I know that, but I was just kind of the silent product user. But I actually quit 2 weeks in, did not tell my sponsor, but I felt like the products were tanking my milk supply, so I stopped. Just quit cold turkey. I'm like, okay, not working for me. And I found out the baby was tongue and lip tied quite severely. And so anyways, I got back on my products. Actually, the last 2 babies that I've had, I've been able to nurse for a year and a half, like way, way, way longer, and actually sustained a milk supply so much longer than my first 4 children because of better hormone balance, better gut health, just a lot of things. Immune system was just stronger. So all that to say, the products, I didn't actually start seeing I mean, I saw tiny changes in my health, but it took me the better part of 4 to 6 months to really see a lot of health changes. And I had worked with a naturopath for 2 years. So of course, like my autoimmune issues had resolved using supplements. My gut health was better, but not completely healed. There's just in my blood sugar, especially blood sugar. That was a huge reason why I started. Anyways, I hope I'm not going too long on the products, but anyways, this is part of my story. And so I shared on the basis of why I knew why the products worked and how I knew they worked, not because I had my own personal health story yet. And so it was scary for me because because I was still in process, but I didn't want to wait 6 months. Okay. By the time 6 months passed, I was Ruby, right? Which of course I didn't know that that was going to happen, but I just felt in my gut like something like I needed to share. And so 2 months in, I went silver. And the way I went silver was basically posting on Facebook. Like I didn't even tell my mom about the products. She saw it on Facebook. She's like, well, what's this Plexus stuff you're talking about? Because I shared health and wellness stuff on Facebook even prior to Plexus. I was a crunchy mom. I like health and wellness and things like that. So it was kind of an, something I was already interested in. So I don't think it seemed weird to people. But I had a little bit of a shift. So I went from, I don't know if this can work. I mean, I don't know if this will work for me. Business wise, I knew the products were awesome. And that's the basis I shared on. Because I'm like, if I can help a couple people, that's a win. I thought, even if I can help 20 people, maybe I could go gold in a year. I was like, okay, that would be a good goal for me. What I didn't realize were how many people were suffering in silence. And when I got out there and started sharing and really started educating, my heart motive was to educate people and to share what I was learning. And I was so passionate, guys. I mean, I knew some stuff, but I didn't know everything. And so I think people, and still, I think people join me because of my excitement. So don't feel like you have to be an expert and even know how to explain ProBio 5 and things like that, because now it's different than when I started. Now we have those third-party tools, so you legit can just send a video. Say, okay, hey, you're interested in ProBio 5? Okay, here's why it's so awesome. Or you can send the little 1-minute triplex video. So let those things do the talking for you and let those be the expert. You do not have to be the expert. So what will happen too if you try to be the expert, try to explain things in massive detail, is most people will tune you out, and two, it hurts your duplication because other people feel like they can't be the same as you and explain things like you can, and so it hurts that duplication process. And I've found that most people are not like me. They don't want to know all the information. They just need to know a little teeny bit of how and why it works, and then the second question they want answers is will it work for them? And I like what Jessica Huffley says. She always says, we can only help people if we get them started. And so that gives me urgency. When someone expresses interest, I want to move them through the funnel quickly. I don't want a constipated funnel. I want from, questions. I ask, 3 basic questions. What are your health goals? Do you have any bathroom troubles or allergies? Are you on any pain meds? And do you have any chronic pain? Those are my questions. Pretty much the same questions I've asked for 5 years. And then after that, I mean, we chat a little bit. I try to get on the phone as much as possible with people. As soon as they're, I'm just like, hey, can we chat on the phone? It's gonna be easier. You can lean way more into people's health issues and you really get a picture of what they're going through. And then you can make a recommendation based off of that. And usually I just give them one option. I'm like, okay, well, sounds like you need to start the Renew You pack. Or it sounds like you need to start the Family Essentials pack. You say you have kids, you need the triplex, you need the multivitamin and things like that. So you are the professional. Like, you don't have to be the expert, but you are the professional in the sense that you have to make the choice easy for them, because people don't know what they want. They need told what to do, and you have to have that confidence in recommending things for them. And I always set expectations too when I'm on the phone. I'm like, you know what? Sometimes we have to tweak things, and not every product is, completely 100% fabulous for every person. So if something is not like working perfectly for you, like, let me know. We can always tweak things as we go. And I always say you have a money back guarantee. So if something isn't meeting your expectation, we can get money back on those. So completely different than a health food store, right? So, okay, I'm like totally rambling here, but these are, I guess I'm just kind of sharing how I help people start. Like, going back to my my little thing about going silver. When I went silver at the end of April, it was basically three kind of rando people that joined us on my post. And I did host an event at my house. So if you've never hosted an in-person event, there's your sign. Go schedule one this month. Don't wait a long time. And one thing that I've noticed about my journey is that I've acted with urgency. Like whenever I get an idea, boom, this week I'm doing it. And that's what I did. I came back from a meeting in Indianapolis because I saw Shoshana was hosting a health seminar, and I drove 2.5 hours. I left my infant with my husband, and I took my, what would she have been? 7? I think Madeline was 7 at the time. We drove over there a couple hours. We're there a couple hours and then drove home. And when I got home, I said, I need to host something. I think I had 2 sticks of pink drink left. Like I didn't even have products at my house. I was so like green in terms of the business because I didn't want people to think I was trying to sell them something that I didn't even tell them how to order it. I had people show up to my house and I rambled for a long time about the green information about the products. And people got started, and one girl even started, and I didn't know for months because she signed up as like an orphan customer on the Plexus website. So anyways, all that to say, you can learn from me how not to do it. Okay, it's okay to let people know that you have a website, and that's where they should order from. So the 2 things when I went silver, it gave me belief, like game on. As soon as I went silver, that was a clicker for me. And I watched Jarrett Abart's Diamond documentary. And those 2 things, I think that going silver gave me belief and the confidence that I knew I could do this thing. And Jarrett Abart's Diamond documentary showed me a bigger vision outside of myself and outside of my current circumstances, that this could be for us what it was for other people. I mean, this could be for us, yeah, what it was for other people. And I started to see, whoa, this could be more than just helping a few people get started on supplements. This could mean time freedom, financial freedom, the fact that my husband was never home and we kept having all these babies and most of them were boys and they needed his presence in this house because even just his presence calms things down, and gave me like a clear, solid why. I had so much clarity. We wanted to pay off this house because remediating the mold out of here cost us about $40,000, and for a single income with a bunch of kids, that was a lot of money to us. I'm assuming it's a lot of money to everyone on this call, and we were $10,000 away from paying off the house completely. And it's not a big house. It's like 1,700 square feet, but we wanted to own this thing, right? So all that to say, I had a goal, I had a plan, and I had vision. And I would say tangible things that helped me grow my business, or something that I had a strength in. This was my strength. I contacted people. No matter what, I talked to people every day and I initiated conversations. And if you do nothing else, in terms of working your business, even if I should say 2 things. I contacted people every day, rain or shine, no matter what happened. Okay, guys, I had 5 tiny children at home. I was homeschooling them and I was nursing the baby around the clock. So if you have whatever excuses you have, you can do this. Okay, I know people that work their business while getting cancer infusions. I know people that work this business through really hard things. And I was just talking to my team, some leaders on my team, and just saying, life is hard. I remember my mom telling me that when I was in high school, and I didn't really get it until after I got married and started having kids. And I'm like, life is hard. Life's not going to slow down for us to get our business in order or work our business, right? We're going to have to work it amidst crazy and work to be as organized as we can be in the midst of it. But I would say 2 things that I did very consistently was I contacted people and I posted consistently on Facebook. Posting is a little bit different now than it was back then, but the same idea goes. Put them in your stories. If you want to post a bunch of times a day, put them in your stories and do polls, because those things work. And contacting people works. I'll also say, 10 minutes remaining. I'll also say that I prayed very consistently at the top of every week and even through the week. I just felt like this opportunity was God-given. And I just prayed in faith and said, you know what, Lord, you can bring people to my mind. You can bring people to my door. You can cause people to contact me. I feel like I have something that could really benefit people. And so I need help. And so that has been my prayer. I'll just share this too. I don't know how many of you are, it applies whether you're a busy wife and mom, or if you're in the grandma stage, or if you're single and not married yet. I prayed very consistently that the Lord would magnify the hours in my day because I didn't feel like I had enough time to get everything done. But I did pray that. And then there's a psalm that talks about um, establish thou the work of my hands. And you guys know that one. And I just prayed I just prayed over my business. And so I just encourage you guys, if you're people of faith, to allow God to be part of it. I didn't realize how many people on my team felt like this was something that God wasn't interested in. And I believe that everything big or small in life, God cares about. I even coach women that are having babies. I'm like, pray through your body. Like, pray in specifics. Pray over the nurses and the midwives and the people that are going to attend your birth. Like, and like, why is this any different than other things we pray about, right? So, this is earthly and it's temporal, but I believe anything that puts us in contact with people is an opportunity for ministry and is an opportunity for the gospel. So that's just a little bit of my heart, my brain space on that, and how I feel like we can step into really, really big things in 2020 by inviting the King of the universe to be part of what we're doing, right? So contacting people and posting on Facebook, two big things. Initiating, not worrying so much about the outcome, but just getting the messages sent. And also, I think it also gives you an opening to when you are praying, because you can just say, hey, for whatever reason, you're on my heart this week, and so I wanted to reach out to you about plexus. I have no idea. You may be 1,000% not interested, but I thought I'd just reach out and see if anyone's ever introduced it to you. Okay, use your messages just like you talk normally in daily life. Okay, it shouldn't be any more complicated than that. And I was just on a accountability call with Jessica Heffley a couple weeks ago, and she said a couple things that were really profound, and I was going to share them with you guys too, because maybe it will help you guys. Sometimes I like to hear the bigger picture. And Jessica said, she goes, okay, here's the scoop. She said, there's 3 things that will hold us back in our business, or hold the people back on our teams in this business. These things are, number 1, mindset, number 2, habits and routine, and number 3, your money blueprint. And I'll just explain really quick. Those 3 things are vital for success in Plexus, success in any business, actually. So mindset is super important. If you think you can go do it, right? If your mindset's in the gutter and you're having self-loathing thoughts in your head and you are constantly negative, my encouragement there is to get a fresh perspective. My brain naturally goes to the negative if I'm not constantly renewing my mind. Podcasts, God's word, worship music in general, and reading good books. Okay, those things will affect your mindset in a really positive way. Number 2 is habits and routines. Some people are so unorganized that they cannot be successful. Okay, if you do not have a planner and have protected plexus time scheduled into your week, you will not be successful. And you need to be scheduling, in my opinion, at least 10 hours a week if you expect to go anywhere in your business. So 2 hours a day. All right, you also can make that happen. If you work shift work, double up on the weekends, right? You can make it happen, get up an extra hour early. That's how I work my business, birthing babies and homeschooling kids, right? While people were sleeping, I was working my business, or while I was up nursing a baby, I was working my business off little scratch notes, pieces of paper with people's names on it. As I thought throughout the day, I was like, boom, write it on my note card. And then when I had time to sit down, I'd go message those people. And then keep a list of follow-ups. Okay, and then number 3 is your money blueprint. Where did my books go? I have 2 books that I'm reading currently. They're not on my desk right now. One is Happy Money, and one is the Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, I believe it's called. Both of those are really important. If you have scarcity mindset in terms of making more money, you need to get a fresh perspective on wealth, finances, stewardships, things like that. And you need to evaluate where you're at with these 3 points, because once you identify and have that self-awareness, then you can grow past that, right? It's like you can't unhear things. Once you're made aware, then you can work on those things. So say you've identified oh my word, Megan, I have my life planned out. My my work schedule dictates my day. I'm super organized. I have my scheduled plexus time. But I really struggle with my mindset. Well, then there you go. You need to work on that. And you can pop an earbud in while you're doing laundry, washing dishes, in the carpool line, whatever, looking for those little opportunities to feed and grow your mind. And also, if you're in the car and your kids are listening, they're going to grow also. So it's a mutual benefit. And I'll also say, like, when you grow personally as a person, it lifts the lid in every area. When you institute some daily habits and daily routines, everything benefits: your marriage, your kids, the places that you minister, all your relationships. They benefit from you getting better in life, right? And showing up. Okay, I just lost my train of thought. But Chris Harder, if you have not listened to his podcast, and I cannot remember which number it is, I can maybe look it up really fast. I listened to it twice. It was so good, but it was his 10 attributes of highly successful people, because he studies those people. And it was really, really good. I would challenge you guys to all go listen to that. Let me see if I can look it up really fast. I saved it, I think. It was episode 271, 10 common traits of my most successful friends, I think is what it was called. Oh yeah, that's what it was called. So go look that up and listen to it. It was so good. Okay, I think that's all my things. Does anyone have any questions? We have 2 minutes and 58 seconds, so you can unmute, or maybe someone put them in the chat.
Could you repeat what the podcasts were?
Oh, sure. Chris Harder, and it's called, don't freak out, it's called For the Love of Money. But he's kind of like a success podcaster guy. I don't know, I've only listened to this one, but it was really good. Chris Harder, number 271, 10 common traits of my most successful friends.
I'm going to ask a quick question. When you have people who are quitting because they don't want to do the business, they're not seeing benefits with the products yet, and your team is starting to see people quitting and they're starting to get really nervous, what do you do? How do you encourage them other than training and expanding their level 1 base?
Okay, so my number one question that I just learned from Brooke Hemingway's coaching is ask them what else is going on in their life. And then I think the other thing is, are we going to respond in faith, or are we going to respond in fear? The truth is that there's always going to be people coming and going. And so we have to just keep the faith and know that that's what this business is about, continuing to offer what we have to offer. It says less than a minute. I'm afraid we'll get cut off.
Okay, anybody else have any other question?
I wrote like plus 5 minutes or something.
I know, I'm too cheap. It's ridiculous. Kara, were you going to ask a question?
No, just no questions. I just have a full page of notes. I'm just really thankful. Thank you for sharing that. I love your mission with anything that puts us in contact with people as an opportunity for ministry and an opportunity to share the gospel. I just love that. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Megan, we love you. I can't wait to get this over onto YouTube, hopefully, so I can go back and listen to your message that you sent to. I loved how it was just very no pressure. I loved the way that you used your wording in that. Before it hangs up, we want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being on. Team, I love you. I'll see many of you in Scottsdale next week, and I cannot wait. We'll see you guys later. Thank you, Megan.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.